definition of lean. So this is one of the great books, Leaning into Six Sigma by Barbara Wheat. I have a lot of books on Lean and Six Sigma, but this is one book which the Leaning into Six Sigma, it's almost like a story, okay? A parable of journey into Six Sigma and the Lean enterprise. It's very interesting. So Lean enterprise is based on the premise that anywhere work is being done, waste is generated. Okay, let us look at the other way of saying this. Any process can be improved. A process is a set of activities. If you're making tea or coffee making process, tea making process, okay? Every process is a set of activities. If you talk about coffee making process, there is a set of activities where you bring in the water, you boil the water, you make the decoction, you boil the milk and add things like that. So any activity can be improved. That is, that you will find out value adding activity and non-value adding activity and the value enabling activity. We'll talk about that later, okay? All right, Lean enterprise seeks to organize the process to optimal level through the continuous focus on identification and elimination of waste. Okay, so this is the definition from this book. Let's talk about history of Lean. We will go into how this Lean Six Sigma thinking evolved. First, we will talk about history of Lean. Craft production is, if you talk about wooden craft piece, each pieces are handcrafted, right? Likewise, even in automobiles, they were handcrafting. Even the tools what they make, when they go for hunting in the jungle, you really, it requires high level of skill. You really make these tools, beat it and all that, right? So you will machine that, you'll do that manually, okay? And then you also do a hardening process, like, showing in the fire and things like that, softening, hardening, hitting and all that. Then you try to fit in like assembly all manually, and everything is highly customized because every piece is made like that. So it requires high skilled workforce. You cannot produce in bulk. There is a low production rate and the cost is high because everything is handcrafted. Okay, there were some automobiles which was initially made by hand. Okay, how many of you know even the aircraft which we fly today, the first flight was handcrafted by Wright brothers. Okay, then we come to 1913. Okay, 1913, where the mass production started. And what was the trigger to this mass production? Okay, mainly World War was a trigger. And then World War led to Industrial Revolution also. That's right. Okay. In World War, there was a need to produce a lot of war equipments, right? The guns, pistols, and all that. Okay. The bullets are consistently used, Now, the part interchangeability concept was brought in, and generally production line moved. There was a concept of production engineering, okay, that came in. And workers don't like to think, they just do what is said. It was lowest cost and the labor skill was not required much. There's no skill required much because it was all standardized, but it led to quality problems because it was produced in batch. It was produced in mass, okay? And even if one tool, the machine component has got an issue, then everything, all the batch gets issue, okay? And high production rates, of course, since it was mass production, the machines were faster and churning out component by component. Okay, and this is a typical Ford assembly line where the assembly line was moving, and you can see the people working. Okay, somewhere around 55 to 90. Okay, Toyota production system started. Yeah, that was Ford Model T. Now, in Toyota production system, these are some of the fundamental principles, okay? Worker as a problem solver. The worker was the value adder, the real value adder. In Lean, we are going to call them as value adders, okay? So the worker was a process owner. How did they get the ownership of the process? By training, okay? By making sure that the quality is produced at source and not, passed on to the next. operating with minimum inventory, and make sure that right quantity is produced at right time and delivered at the right location. These are the principles of just in time. Of course, the concept of eliminating waste and quick response to changes was inbuilt as a part of Toyota production system. Okay, so in Toyota production system, there was low cost and quality was also good and productivity was amazing. All right, then we came to 1993, where we spoke about lean enterprise. Okay, and when we talk about lean enterprise, it is just not in manufacturing, but it was applied in all other functions, supporting functions actually, and not only as a supporting functions, but also the supply chain, that is the suppliers and the customers as well. Optimization of value delivered to all stakeholders and enterprise in the value chain. We call that as a value chain, because even if you talk about car, right from iron ore to making of the steel sheets, okay, ingots and steel sheets, to making of the car body, the stamped component, to making the cars and delivering the value to the customer. The entire value chain was, this is called as the entire value chain, and this was focused and improved. And the main feature of this is low cost, high quality product, improving productivity and great value for the stakeholders. So that is what is a stamp of lean that we call. It involved people, it involved processes, it looked at technology, it was looking at cycles, short cycles, total quality focus, and continuous improvements. Okay,